Hi, students. How are you doing? Welcome to Nara Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across a video where a woman was talking about how brainwashed they are and how they have been made to feel superior and all that. And she was talking about that it's not about truth, that it's about control. I don't know who you people are planning to control this time around, because the way things are going, you people might end up controlling yourself. And now I am going to say this. I do not see anybody as a superior race, and you people should just understand this and understand it and know peace, right? Where you people were supposed to show how superior you are, especially in your thinking and all that, was in November, but you all did not show it. So what are we supposed to do with you coming out to, you guys already know that how brainwashed you, I mean, like, it's obvious, right? Because if it is not obvious, you all would have done the right thing. Now, so I am going to ask this woman that is trying to tell Black people that keeping quiet and criticizing people that did not come out and criticizing people that came out will not solve the problem. What are you trying to tell us? Or what are you trying to tell Black people? The reality is that Black people never said that they were going to come out. They made it clear from the onset that they were not going to come out. If there were anywhere you people were supposed to show how superior you are or something, was at the polling unit. See, enough of fixing people's problem. It is unfair that you made a mistake, and instead of you to taking accountability of what you did, and you are trying to push it on me, you don't do that. I am saying this: normalize telling people that you are not going to do something and you are standing on it. Let's get into this.
Do you even realise how brainwashed we are? As white people, we're conditioned to feel superior. And it's not about truth, it's about control. White supremacy doesn't just harm others, it harms us too. We're manipulated into blaming global majority communities for all of society's ill. From crime, economic hardship, housing issues, we're conditioned to other people and blame them for our problems. It's all a lie. Who are the people that actually create these problems? The corporate elites and our political system, which enable this through the hoarding of wealth and power inequity. White supremacy keeps us distracted, keeps us blaming people from global majority backgrounds, prevents us from unifying, stopping us from questioning who is really benefiting. Our media continuously spread a false narrative, making out that white people are losing power when actually they're losing their dominance, these elite. Ask yourself, who really benefits from this fear that they're stirring up? It's certainly not white working class communities whilst they drive down wages and force poor public services on us. So we have to acknowledge that having a white skin does give us advantages in this community. But it's not protecting us from poverty, rubbish jobs, poor public services, failing education, and a declining quality of life. This is the elites that are causing that. Certainly not immigrants, and certainly not global majority communities. White supremacy keeps you defending systems that are actually harming you. White supremacy keeps you blaming and othering global majority individuals and communities. So if you're ready to unlearn your social conditioning and see through the lies of this system, get in touch. I'm happy to help you.
So I want to have a candid conversation with both Black and white people collectively and individually. But first, everything I say in this video is out of love, okay? So please do not take anything I say as anything other than that. But we have got to work together, okay? We have to. Because we will lose everything that we have fought for and any progress we have made and slide backwards by decades if we don't, because they are actively and successfully instating a dictator as we speak. It's working. And it's having impacts both on us as a country and us internationally in a way that is not something that's going to be able to be recovered strictly by the midterms and the next presidential election, which, by the way, he's talking about running in again. This is something is going to take decades to recover from already. And it's very possible that it will get worse. In fact, guaranteed, it will get worse. So because of that, anything or anybody that is taking away attention from focusing on addressing this issue, fixing this issue, fighting this issue is a distraction that doesn't need to be entertained. And I mean that for both Black and white people. But specifically right now, at this moment, I want to talk to Black people. I really want us to stop policing each other, okay? I think that I understand that all of us have a lot of feelings about what's happening right now, justifiably so. And for both arguments about how things are happening right now and how we should respond to it, I get both sides of it. I do understand the group of people that are saying like, hey, we're exhausted, we've been fighting, and this is something that is dangerous for us, and they're targeting us, and we don't want to be out on the front lines as they're trying to bait us into doing that. I totally get that. I also understand the people that are like, hey, I can't sit around and just see all this stuff happening and not do anything, because if we don't fight for ourselves, no one's going to fight for us. I completely get and agree with that as well. But what I don't think is helpful or okay is policing each other, because there's valid critiques and points in both sides of that argument, and there's also policing on both sides of it as well that I have personally been seeing, and it is extremely concerning to me, because no matter what side of this you are on and what your approach to all of this looks like, we have to take care of ourselves, and we cannot take a back seat to what is happening. We can't. Now, the way you approach it, the way that you help prevent this from happening or continuing, can look very different. If you are someone that is scared about going out because they do target us when we go out to protest, for the people that are like, y'all are being dramatic, they were not being dramatic. We just were not there en masse. So if you are concerned about that, please stay home if that is what you feel like you need to do to be safe. But please find a way to productively be at home. Please find a way to be strategic about how you're at home. Yes, calling is really important. Yes, boycotting is important. But the level of things that we are facing right now from that man and his administration calls for more than just that. It does. It is that serious right now. Like, I'm very concerned about us having any rights for real come May, June, and forget the economy at this point. Like, shit is getting realer and realer as we speak. Yes, we have always had to deal with shit. Yes, stuff has always sucked for us. Yes, we've had to weather the good, the bad, the ugly at the worst degree. I totally agree with that. But it does mean that we still need to try to still fight for it to be better. And I know a lot of us are doing that, but I need you to understand the magnitude of what is happening right now. And I know that some people are using a different approach to protest, and I think that is amazing, and I'm just encouraging more of that. But for the people that are simply like, I'm completely hands off and I don't want to do anything with this, I strongly encourage you to take a bigger look at what is happening right now and how it can even directly impact you. It does not take away from the need for our white counterparts to do their part. It does not take away from that. But what it does mean is that if you do not actively participate in some way in countering what's happening, it will continue to slip. And we're going to continue to slip into the past. We're going to continue to see things get worse. And I do not want the group of people that is going to be hit the hardest, or one of the groups that's going to be hit the hardest, to be watching it happen. Because not everybody that's saying staying at home is doing that. Not everybody's just sitting and watching, but some are. And I want you to really think about that, especially when it comes to shaming people that are going out and actively trying to fight against what's happening. I do not think that is helpful, and I think that needs to stop, because it's not helping us overcome what is happening right now. And when it comes to the Black people that are out doing stuff, that's actively out doing the mutual aid and protesting and doing all that stuff, I think that's fucking amazing. But I also don't think it's helpful to target and attack the Black people that are very concerned about being out on the streets with the protest. It's completely valid. You see how they approach things when we're there and when they're not. And yes, like, I think there are different ways that you can fight against what is happening right now. And I think that that is something to recognize and respect, because everyone's approach and resistance is going to look different. And I do not want to see the infighting that has been happening for months now on this app to turn into something that derails this extremely important moment where we need to fight against what is happening. Okay? Resisting what is happening does not mean directly equating to putting ourselves directly on the front lines of anything. That is not what that has to mean. Some people are choosing to do that. I respect it. Some people are choosing not to do that and choosing to do it in alternate ways. I think that's respectable and fine too. We do not need to police each other. Everybody does that to us. We don't need to do it to each other. Please. I love y'all. I want us to be safe. I want us to be able to do what we can to make sure that we're okay while actively working with our counterparts to do the best we can to stop all of this. I know that not everyone that is staying home is not doing anything. I know that not everyone that is going out is shaming people for staying home. I know that. But for those of you that are, your voice still carries. So please be cognizant of that, because now is not the time for that, okay? They're instating a dictator as we speak. And Supreme Court don't seem to be super they don't seem to be putting their foot down like that for real. So yeah, we need to push past this, please. To white people, I need you to unpack the tenets of white supremacy. For you to do anything that is going to be helpful and to help this cause and resisting against what is happening right now, you have to do that. It is actively, those tenets are actively going to stop you from doing anything that is going to be helpful, and it's going to actively undermine the efforts of everyone else that is operating against it. Particularly the right to comfort and the perception of resistance and what that looks like and the definition of peaceful protest. There are some people that have a grave misunderstanding of what peaceful protest actually looks like in reality. But when it comes to the right to comfort that comes embedded in white supremacy and is indoctrinated in white people from the get-go collectively is dangerous in times like this, because you are going to have to be uncomfortable. And for you to do something when it comes to in-person, physical, right in their face protesting, you have to be disruptive, which is uncomfortable both for you and for other people, which means you have to not be polite. You have to get in their face. You have to do something that's going to make people not happy with you, and you have to be okay with that. And it's going to be something you have to be okay with for a long time, because this is going to continue for a long period of time. This is not something that's going to just snap our fingers and everything's going to be solved. And I think everybody understands that, but that means you have to build resistance and tolerance to being to being uncomfortable. And when it comes to the idea of a peaceful protest, you can be disruptive. You can be disruptive, annoying, and it disrupt the natural order of things and it still be peaceful. Being docile is not the same as being peaceful. So when it comes to protests, yes, there is a form and a function for different kinds of protests. And like I said before, you can go and get a permit and do a demonstration for sure. But when it comes to protests, you are getting in the way to force them to listen to you. And for you to do that, it is going to be risky. It takes sacrifice, and you're going to have to be uncomfortable. But that does not make it unsafe. That does not make it not peaceful.
So I've been seeing some white people react regarding getting feedback from the hands-off protest. And some of the responses have been like, what the fuck, like anything we ever do is not good enough. Or, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So let's have like a real honest conversation about it. And this is for white friends and family, right? No, the fuck, it's not good enough. It's not. We gotta be honest about that. Is it a step more than a lot of white people have taken, maybe in their lifetimes? Sure. But nowhere near it being good enough. And it's not about it being good enough. It's about learning to become uncomfortable and choosing to create and make change. So it's like a fucking baby step. And we don't get kudos for this shit. And additionally, a lot of white people did this because they were the ones affected by this. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. fucking 401ks and shit. And so if you can see that a system can affect you in this way, then you need to start piecing together what systemic racism has done to so many fucking communities for centuries. You have to start decolonizing. You have to start deconstructing. You have to start addressing the whiteness and white supremacy inside of you. This shit is deep. Like, showing up to a protest and be like, hey, this is bad. I'm bored. We should have a bouncy house. Come on, dude. Like, come on. That's not anywhere close to enough. Y'all had a very easy ass experience, right? Like, the cops don't interfere. You got very little pushback. So many white people were extremely comfortable at these protests. And again, it's good that, a lot of white people got out, right? But we're talking the bars in fucking hell. You can't do the bare minimum, especially when it's like collectively affecting white people's financial statuses, and that's why you show up and be like, well, give me a pat on the back. At least I did something. Okay, but again, Kilmar Garcia, the other immigrants that have been taken from this country illegally, fucking ICE, again, police brutality, all these other issues that have been violently used against different communities of color, Black community, Indigenous community, the Latino community, like the list goes on forever. And where was everybody? Like, you can show up, again, I said this yesterday, we could show up in millions for this shit, but not that stuff. So now that you have an understanding, again, of how a system might affect you under open white supremacy, you need to unpack all that shit and understand what it looks like. We'll never experience it in full. We'll never have an understanding of what it's like to be Black in this country, or an Indigenous person in this country, or a person of color. But if you can get a small taste of how a system might affect you from the top down, have a direct financial impact on you, you can start to piece together how systemic racism literally is engrafted into every part of this fucking country, into every system. This is where the work starts. And then understanding how we are complicit in that, and how we play a role in white supremacy and racism. For a lot of other white people, like, the work starts now. And you don't get a pat on the back after we've spent centuries of our white ancestors up until today of carrying out fucking atrocities and fucking crimes against humanity. Showing up for one protest doesn't undo all of that shit. It just doesn't.
This is all I got from this video. And firstly, I am going to start with a Black woman who said that not everybody that stayed home, that did not do anything, and not every, like, what is she trying to say? Because I do not understand what she is trying to say. Because, sometimes when people are saying something, right, just go straight up to their comment section. The comment section will tell you if they are on the right track or they are not on the right track. Because if you check her comment section, you definitely will see that she was probably, I don't know what that is. I'm not here to attack anybody or something. The truth is that nobody should ever, ever, ever police Black people, on Black women, Black men, on how they protested and how they did their protest or how they did not do their protest. Because this protest so far is not for people that look like me. And you and I know that. And like you say, keeping quiet is not going to solve sometimes it solves something. I know fighting does, when they say fighting doesn't solve everything. So when fighting ain't solving some certain things, silent could actually go a very long way. I know I am saying. How is it getting worse? Like, how worse again will it be? Like, what is it that Black people have not experienced that somebody is trying to throw in there? We know that it is going to get bad, which was the reason why Black people asked everybody to come out in November. They knew it was going to be bad. I don't know if you understand this. They saw it, but you all refuse to see it. They refuse to see it. So how is that my problem? How is that Black people's problem? Sometimes when people that look like me talk somehow, I just like feel like, how do they reason? Because you are calling people that did the right thing, trying to, like, if you're among them that are keeping quiet may not solve anything, and what? So what should they do? Hit the street, right? Like they have always done all their life, and do what? Protest or do their own protest or come out in alignment, or like to amplify other people's voices. See, so far I have not seen their voices being heard. Like, it's okay that they are out there doing it. It is time for Black people to rest. It is time for Black people to rest. I don't know how the angle you want to see this from, but I think it is unfair, coming out to tell Black people that are, that are sitting at home or doing this, or trying to criticize people that were at home and trying to criticize people that went out. Like, what are you trying to say? Did Black people ever tell you that they were going to come out and they did not come out? They said they were not coming out, that whatever they are going to do, they will do it at home. That is resting. They did not say they were going to protest in any way. So why are you trying to tell them that keeping quiet, we know it was not going to, it will solve something, because people need to learn their lesson. People should stop taking people for granted. They have to learn their lesson, and they are going to learn it in a very huge way this time around. So enough of all this watching and all that, and all. See, enough of it. That because they came out last Saturday, I see, it doesn't mean that it's going to wash away straight up everything that has happened or all the things they have done. Do you know? I am sure you are advanced, right? I don't mean you. You are old enough to know some certain things. That this has always been what Black people have been doing. Just this one time that they say they are not doing it. So why are you people trying to push them outside? It is not okay. I don't care who you are, if we look alike and all that. But when you all sometimes refuse to understand that some people are trying to navigate through it, you might be keeping that quiet. So in any way, how they want to tell you that they are feeling bad or they feel bad over what you do, allow them to exercise whatever they want to exercise. I am personally the one that said this year I am normalizing holding grudges. This year, I am normalizing people apologizing to me, and I said, I do not accept your apology. And I am also normalizing being far away from people that do not mean well for me. That doesn't mean that it is just you distancing yourself from some certain kind of things. There is a stage you reach in your life. It doesn't matter the age. When you reach that, it might actually happen to a 10, 12, 15-year-old person, right? In your life, and you tell yourself, you see this? I am saying it out, and you are saying it out. At this point in time, Black people are saying so many things out. This is something you are supposed to understand. So please do not come and ask them, staying, not doing anything, boycotting my. Well, you can hit the road. See, I do not have problem with anybody that wants to hit the road, or anybody that wants to speak up over what it's going on, and how the government, everything is all going bad. Feel free to do it. There is also what they call one-man protest. You can also go ahead and do whatever pleases you, but leave 92% and 80% Black men and Black women out of this. Bye for now.